Let's see if things work. Oh, hey, look, things are working. Cool. Alright, welcome back. Stream 11. Carmine Skies. Doing things. Actually doing things this time. We're going to start with the plane. Because the plane is different now. I flew it. I landed it on the inclined runway. It counts as a landing. It landed on its wheels, but it was going way too fast. It was going to crash into the front gate, so I had to slam the brakes, which flipped it over. It didn't blow up, but I thought the wings looked better backwards, so it's been rebuilt. It's been rebuilt with the wings backwards now. And it's got the guns built into it, and I made some changes. No crash, no. No, it did land. I didn't bleed off enough speed before I touched down to be able to like slow down gently, and so I did have to hit spacebar to tap the brakes, and it just rolled right over the nose. So, yeah. But we have stuff now. It's not finished, obviously. It needs to be finished. I've been doing some thinking, actually. I have flown it around. It's got gas in the tanks. It flies beautifully, actually. There's air brakes on here now. Here? Yeah, there's one on each side of the fuselage, which does help with slowing things down. Because we don't have like a battery on this, I've got a capacitor to kind of help even out some of the power draw if it's necessary. I don't think it'll be necessary, but it's there in case it will be. And of course it has a gyro to help stabilize, because these wing surfaces only work when you're going more than a certain speed forwards. So like if you bank hard, because of the way the fake wing simulation is, you lose all control. Completely and totally. Which, yeah, not great. Not how that works in real life. Like, yes, you do lose some control, like if you just do a super quick flip, but like aerodynamics in real life doesn't work the way that it does in the game, so. No. No, I mean, like, they do slow it down, but not that fast. Like, I can shed a couple meters per second in speed, but I accelerate far faster. Like, if I just hold down the accelerator, I will take off still. So, this is kind of cool. It's got 6 guns on it. It's got ammo. It's got 2 engines. It's got enough power it can produce. I just need to make the rest of it a little bit prettier. And then probably set up some of the electronics, because it's got like event controllers and stuff like that on it. I haven't decided yet. I was thinking about armoring it, and I'm like, that would be dumb. Because one, it's going to slow it down a lot by weighing a lot more, and I have concerns about the lifting capacity of these wing blocks. What do you want, sir? I have no treats for you. My cat is just like, oh, you're talking on the mic. I want more food, even though I just had dinner. Yeah. I'm gonna put you on camera if you don't stop. But there's not enough parts that are like really armorable, and it floats as it is. Like, it mostly floats as it is. So like, it could do water landings and takeoffs though, without having pontoons, and I kind of like that. What other things are going on? What other things have I done? There's a lot of light here, and there's a reason for that. Because there's spotlights on a barge. I built a barge. I did a lot of work in here with like prepping for expanding out inside Hat Mountain itself. I did finish the new crab. We'll have to print one at some point. So we do need to prioritize the welder wall stuff, just for the clams and for the new crab. And I have the barge built, but it's not been automated for travel back and forth. And ultimately, we do need to expand the docks down there to accomplish it. I've got a temporary dock here for it, so I can drive tax fraud, by the way, is the name for this. We're calling it tax fraud. So it can drive up on here and load up. I've taken it over to the AHEHQ, and then I drove it up to the gold mine. and I loaded it up with gold, and I drove it back down to the HQ, pulled it back up on here, floated it back down this way. And it was indeed faster to do that. But yeah, it is a deck barge, and it's got tanks and cargo capacity, so we could load up oil sand and then offload it either through the crane or some other method yet. It doesn't have a lot of fuel. We do have some connectors I need to get set up for, but I've got nothing to really plug in with yet. I forgot to cover that up because that's where it was connected to the dock previously. I was going to grab all these. Cover this over real quick. There we go. Problem solved. Alright. No, but it does work, and it works nicely. It's got, down here on the bottom, it does have some mag plates under the very front, just so when I beach it, I can drop the vehicle ramp off the front, and it'll still work, which is cool. I just unpower it, and the whole thing swings down. And I do need to set up all the electronics for controlling the crane, like, nicely. But it's mostly there. You know, I could do a Himmett. But I think I don't want to make land vehicles. I think, like, buying this one worked out pretty well. And to facilitate it being on the boat, I did add a mag plate here so I could just stick it to the side of something, because if I don't, the boat will just yeet it off, because space engineers physics, even fully loaded. And I did relocate the map up top. So if we turn it on, we do have the map. It does work. So I think for land vehicles, the crab doesn't count. The crab is amphibious. It's a water vehicle that can go on land. I think I just want to buy it. Like, normally I do a bunch of, like, land vehicle stuff. I don't think I want to this time. So I think if I restrict it to just making aircraft and boats, that's probably pretty decent. Changes over here. I've laid out the foundations for what will be 3 defense and placement towers. Yeah, that's a possibility too. I could always do containers. They are not conveyored up yet, I don't think. No, I just laid out where they're going to be. They need to be conveyored up, and then we need to put some defensive towers with some weapons on them. The oil rig has weapons on it. So there is that. But that's about it. We still need clams out there, because anything serious is going to be a problem. I did decide I liked this whole like ribbed thing, so I started laying some of this out and took the old stuff down and welded some of it out. And I relocated the cargo that was up here. It's now here temporarily. Eventually this will become additional overflow storage for coal. So if something happens and, you know, the coal base gets blown up or the pipeline gets destroyed and I just can't get back out there, we'll have enough power, fuel to keep running things for a while. And then of course this can be expanded out as necessary. So that's the current goals here, but right now this is temporary inventory. I did start mining things back. I did GPSs and math and pointing things. This is going to be the level of the main floor. It's going to be up above everything else. And this will be where like all the industrial processing stuff eventually goes. But then if we come back here, we are roughly in the middle of the mountain. And if we keep coming back here, we will get to the actual middle. So there's plenty of space for us to do things. Would you believe that's the first time I've done that? I've flown back in there like 24 times to add more pistons for the vertical mining rig, and I've never once collided with one of the pistons. That's fine. That one happened on camera. So there we go. Anyway, you can see how far back in the mountain that is. We gotta go retrieve stuff. We're gonna go retrieve stuff and turn that on. Coming from the side here. Eventually there will be a interior parking garage for things, so I can put like the crabs and maybe spare clams and cargo containers and planes and whatever other vehicles. Yeah, I've got a marker now to see exactly how far away I am. But if we go up, we can see the sky, which is actually daytime for once starting a stream, which is neat. So yeah, I just bored a hole straight up out the top of the mountain. And I got it pretty centered. Like, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Like, the mountain itself, if you see it from the side, is not perfectly flat. But I got it pretty fairly centered. And so eventually there will be something up here. I don't know what. Exactly, we just won't mention the splat. So as far as things go, I just need to, now that I've got this entryway back open all the way back again, I can use the crab and just weld up all this stuff all the way back. It'll take a while to do. Oh, here we go. This is about where that stack is. It's pretty close. I think it's off by a little bit, but it's close enough. So that'll work out well, and I'll just weld all this back and keep mining pieces out. That'll keep me occupied between streams for a lot of things. So actually getting stuff done. The goal is eventually get all this stuff torn down and then have like dedicated like actual refinery space with like actual sorting and processing for things. What do you want?
Nope. Yeah, no.
You don't get to make noises now. You don't get to protest. You are on camera. You're gonna sit there and ask for treats I don't have. Yeah, no. No. You're on camera. Have you decided this was a bad idea? Do you regret your life choices yet? A splat showing off the new things I had done, yes. We are no buffs. You missed it by like 2 minutes. That's how close it was. Oh boy. So, yeah. Oh, I feel so slow. You wouldn't think that you notice that extra 2 meters per second movement speed, but you do. Like, if you spend time moving around, you do notice it. So there's that. Yeah. Okay, so, things. Let's check my batteries and make sure they're actually charged up. Sweet, okay. I just want to make sure if I die again, I don't fail to respawn. That's always a concern. Technically, I don't have enough sunlight here over the course of the day to run that survival kit on just these 2 panels. Yeah, there is replay, at least. That is true. So, things we need to get done. I think we're going to start with the... don't want to start with the welder wall, so I can be welding things while I... So the problem is, right, if I build the welder wall and it's not something that's movable, then I run into issues where I don't have enough stuff made. But also, I don't want to make this permanent. So I kind of want to build it down there, but I also haven't set up the infrastructure over there to make parts yet for anything. So, we'll... yeah. I don't know, I'm also not really set for it here either. You know, let's do clam. What does the bottom of this look like? I don't recall what it looks like. Of course I can. Can't set it to show. So let's clear some stuff off the hotbar. Oh wait, no, I've already got a projector. Sweet. So let's do a projector. And actually, first we're gonna do We're going to do a hinge and then a projector. There we go. And we're gonna stick it off here somewhere. We're gonna make it look ugly for the moment, and then go from there. Yes, actually, I am. It had been on my list to use for a while, and I just hadn't had an opportunity to. And we're just going to go ahead and lock that. The one advantage I have over Splitsy and Shack with this mod is that I've got the power of steam turbines and coal power. Throw the coal in the hole, get all the power. I'm not having to run off of like a dozen wind turbines as far as that goes. It can be super power hungry, but I've got power for days. Like literally, like I have not refilled my coal supply here in like a month at this particular sub base, and I still have coal left. I just don't use it hardly at all. So like, and like that one wind turbine provides like 98% of the regular use power for this base for any given point in time, even when everything's under like full production load. So. But I've also got my turbine spaced better than they do, so that is a difference. What was I doing? I was doing this. That's completely misaligned, but I don't know that I care. Yeah, it's massively misaligned. That's fine. Where do I have... Somewhere around here I've got that, but I thought there was a... You know what? We're just gonna redo this. Let's get a control panel. I need to be careful. I've already died once with a jetpack. Let's not crash into something else. Come on. There you go. So, yes, it can. Technically, it puts out steam. So the nice thing about these... Where is it? Over here. The coal boilers can put out 100 liters per second of steam. These turbines can turn up to 50 liters per second of steam into up to 50 megawatts of power for steam. It's basically a liter per second is a megawatt for power production. And it will throttle. There's like expansion tanks, so you can do like buffers if you're producing too much or not enough, or you got a weird thing. I have found, unless you are running a shield mod that is really power hungry and just hammers things super fast, you don't necessarily need the steam buffer tank because the boiler will spin up to higher production enough before your turbine runs out of buffer. But the alternative is, like, these things are super heavy. Alright, that's the refill station. That's not the stats for that. So you're looking at 20 tons for a boiler and a turbine, right? Like, and again, the coal is not nearly as efficient as like uranium is. The upgrade is to still use these same steam turbines and feed it with a nuclear reactor, because in Industrial Overhaul, the reactors that you're supposed to use generate steam. But they can do 500 steam per second. And then you can do, like, these are the better ones. And, like, the compact reactor still exists if you want to do direct power from the reactors, but they're super inefficient. Well, we don't have Reavers on this playthrough at the moment, but the GC will shoot us. And I'm expecting that to start happening soon. Alright, we're connected. I could have just set it that way. Let's see. Blueprints. Clam. Oh, wait, no, that's the light. That was the light armor version, wasn't it? That's the light armor one. Where is the heavy armor one? No, that's other stuff. I named it something else. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I only ever did a light armor one. I thought I had done a heavy armor one. You know, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. So there's this. I'll have to go back and figure out what I named it otherwise. Yeah. Alright, so, the bottom has the electronics, so we need to try to keep this from going into the water. All the way to the ground, at least. Okay, that's not too bad. And then we'll just go out and over. Right, and that should... Yeah, that works. Okay. Okay. We're going to tell this to keep projection on. So these are basically fully... Hi, fish. Fully self-sustained. They've got anchors on them so that I can just drop them in the water and remote access. And they've got some stuff that'll do trigger alerts for, you know, when they're damaged or out of ammo. And they will self-refine their own fuel. Now, realistically, like, if I was doing something like Shack and Split you're doing where, like, hydrogen engines can't self-propagate their own fuel, I would just load this up with gasoline, and it would literally run until the end of days, and it wouldn't matter. It'd actually be lighter and more efficient to do so. But I want the ballast anyway, so that just kind of makes it easy, and then I can just kind of forget about it as far as all that stuff goes. So with this, I need... I think I'm going to build these on a physical platform and then split off from there. So what if we did... Let's do it this way. Let's empty my inventory of all the stuff I picked up this garbage. And we're going to refill these tanks. I'm just going to whip back and forth and make everybody dizzy. Because I'm good at that. Alright, I got gas. I got no buffs, but that's fine. Just have to recharge more frequently. And we just need to clear... Just clear this stuff off. Welder wall. So we need the corners, we need the poles, and I think that'll be the good way to start. So the easiest way to do this is going to be to put the entire welder wall on a piston and conveyor it up. So I think... let's just do some shenanigans. Because again, this is temporary just to get us up and running. This is all going to get torn down and relocated down to the wharf eventually once I get all that figured out, because I still don't know how I want to go about doing all that. But we'll have some options in the meanwhile. Let's see, and if we come out to here-ish, right? That gets us most of the way. Yeah, I like that, that's good enough. I never really appreciated how crooked this little micro dock was until I went trying to line things up. And because the pipelines mod doesn't connect like a connector, I don't want to just run this out. Oh man, do I want to do this? I should do it this way so I can attach things to it. Like if we're going to do a giant conveyor tube out in the middle of nowhere, we should at least make some attempts to make it not look like complete and total ass, right? That seems reasonable. So we'll do the double bracket one from the side. That way I can mount things to it. Alright, so if we do this, and then we keep coming out a little bit further. That fell in the water. If we come out to here, and then we anchor that, that'll be the good point to start from. We can come back and build this out so it looks a little bit nicer in the end. Yes, but we are going to push it out a little bit further. It also won't smash too terribly hard because the goal is going to be to use the crab. We'll grab it with the crab, and then cut it free, and then drag it out with the crab. Or I could use the boat to grab it and like pull it and haul it that way. So it won't be free floating here because this has no motivability at all. So when it cuts free, it's just floating. And that's it. And it's a little on the heavy side for me to drag. I have tried. I can kind of do it, but like if the tide is pushing, it's not moving. So so we go from here, and then we need to go up. We need to go up from here because we'll just do this a couple times. Yeah, that'll work. Do I need to go up one more? I either need to go up one more or I need to do like an up, down, up. And I think we're just going to do an up, down, up just to make it easier. And also because I'm a lazy bum. And that'll be the easier way still to do this. This is going to be horrifying and clangy, but we just need it to print some things, and then the rest will be done in a much better manner. I did consider just like fixing a print rig to the oil rig and just printing them there, and maybe eventually that'll happen. But for right now, we're going to start with this. God, this looks ugly, but whatever. It works. It will work for what it's doing. Then the welder wall corner, which has connectors on the back sides only, so I still need another one of these. You know what? We're going to do this with a curved piece. You'd say more subgrids. I did consider doing like a robot arm for like a 6 degrees of freedom kind of print thing, so it just swirls everything around inside the print head, and decided that's way more than I wanted to do over here. Maybe eventually we'll do one over there, or that'll be what gets thrown up onto the oil rig eventually. Assuming that like this doesn't just get bombed to hell and back, right? There's always every possibility that our oil rig out there is just going to get smashed by the GC, and there'll be no point of recovery for it. So, you know, we won't know until it happens, so I need interior plates for this. That's fine. I'll just go grab some interior plates. We're going to put some of this stuff away because I don't need it, and we're just going to grab more interior plates, and I'll fix my build planner state there, and it won't be an issue. So 1, and we need to do... See, these have a direction, don't they? Guess not. Oh wait, no, they do because this has a direction. Right, so so the way this is aligned, I need to go up and to the right. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I gotta do 7. I think I have to do 7 to fit it with inside. Right, yeah. This should be enough. That changed alignment and is wrong. Exactly. So the funny thing about this is the new crab uses MES. So you can't even, like... I decided if I'm going to sit here and have controllable arms, I needed to actually do it correctly. 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, yeah. And so, like, I've actually got it set up to use MES. And it works so nicely. It's got guns on it. It is a battle crab. Why did you spin around? I don't have T pressed. Why did you spin around? Like, the battle crab exists. So it's got... Really? It's got turrets on it. It's got nice little fun turrets. And it's got... it must be because I'm clicking off the end. It's got a rocket launcher on it. So I figure it'll be fun times. Alright, there's that. So now that we know where this is, we can come over here and chop all this stuff off. And build out from here. Okay, there's that. So if we do this way, add a small head. Maybe eventually I'll click things the right way. And actually, I just need to get this oriented towards the middle here. That's pretty middle-ish. So let's go ahead and do a lock here on this. And I'm gonna... We are... From here, I need to go down. We're going to do the goofiest, most inefficiently possible way to do this. But it's going to work. So the goal is ultimately to be able to take the crab and, like, roll up on a shoreline somewhere and then just go, hi fellas, give me your ships. And then they're like, no, why would we do that? And I go, because I told you to. And then they still argue about it, and so I just blow up all their stuff and take their things anyway. That's like how I imagine this in my head going. Now, whether that's actually the case or not, I don't know. But theoretically, I could also just park a whole bunch of these somewhere, because again, they're gas-powered, so they'll run for a while. And then not have to worry about it, because... Yeah, it's pretty close. We put the projector back on this. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I completely forgot I could do it this way too. Because I'm dumb. There we go. And then we're just going to do a line projection. And we're just going to push this out this way. that's way too far. So that'll be there. How does that fit? Does that fit inside? Oh, that does fit inside. Actually, I made this too big. That's fine. We have some room to play with that way. And so this can come down. Actually, I need to go up a couple. Because I need to be able to make sure that I can bring this down far enough without messing things up. So we do this, and then we just go up. Cool. There's that. That's locked into place. What is this? Is that? Let's just turn this off for a second. Negative 38. Let's call this negative 39. And we'll just roll this down and lock it in place. And then it doesn't matter how much weight's on it. It can't possibly move. And we're locked in place. And we're good. Come back over here. Tell it to keep projection so we can print more. Yeah, that'll work for what I want to do. I think. It's not going to be elegant, but it doesn't have to be elegant. Alright. I gotta weld up everything. The unfun parts. Turn the game sounds up just a little bit because we're not burning engines right now. I did have to make a microelectronics factory because I ran out of advanced computers finally. And then I had to go buy parts to make the advanced computers because I didn't have enough stuff to pull together the pieces needed to make the plastic. Yeah, it was bad. So I had to go refine more oil. Where my suit power is critically low. It's critically low because I lost my buffs that make my suit efficient. And it makes me a sad, sad goose. But that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to weld this up, and then once we're ready, we'll make it look a little bit nicer. The niceness comes last. So I'm just trying to be able to get this done. So the way I see it, we print off like maybe 6 of these clams, right? Get four stationed out around the oil rig, at like cardinal directions, and then maybe 2 over by the docks until I get those defense towers up and running, and then we're probably good. Sad use is a wrong thing. But anyway, I have pulled 2 full truckloads of gold ore back from the mine so far. And there's plenty more there in storage waiting to be picked up. It takes about an hour and 10 minutes round trip. Because it's slower coming back because it's got 140 or 400 something tons of gold ore weighing it down. And ultimately, I either need to automate that with something faster, or something automated, period, right? Or I need to do something aerial, or both, to do pickups. And I still kind of want to do like the underwater lobster transport route, and I think I could use the DAS script to do that. I might just use PAMs. I might just use like vanilla blocks, because as long as it's got thrusters in one direction, it should work. That's the hope. I don't know. I got to think on it and play with it some. Yeah, I'll need it for the welder wall, right? Like I've gotten enough superconductors printed off, but like it's 6,250 gold ingots refined with my current refinery setup and all of its inefficiencies per full trip, and it's something like 8,000 for a welder wall this size in superconductors. It's like 7840 or something like that. So it did take more than one trip. And of course, gold is still going to be the easiest way for us to make money by selling gold ingots. So if we can keep that coming in, it would be nice to, you know, have a little bit more income, because then we can buy more fun stuff. God, this is such an ugly welder stack. But that's fine. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's nothing near what the last welder stack was. That one was pretty. It had a hanger, it had double doors. The whole thing like pivoted up out of the floor for the projections, and it was nice. And eventually I'll probably do something like that. I will probably do something like that if this plane design works out. I will probably do something, a nice fancy printer for the plane, just so I can have multiples. That sounds about right. I used to live in Orlando, actually. Remember when they arrested a dude for stealing swans from Lake Eola and keeping them in his backyard? So let's just... I don't know what I messed up, but I messed up something. So we're just going to clear that and reset it. And here's where we're stuck waiting on things to be made. Yep. Waiting on assembler pieces, waiting on extruder pieces, waiting on plate stamp pieces. Am I out of titanium? Is that the issue? I am out of titanium? Okay, we need to make a run for titanium. Hang on, let's go over to this other one here. Do I have anything in my inventory? Yeah, I got some stuff in my inventory. Let's go put this in this stuff real quick. And that's ultimately going to kind of be the problem, is how quickly we can make things, right? Because I'm kind of operating on a shoestring here. That doesn't surprise me at all. Seagulls have learned to open coolers. That doesn't surprise me in the least. Alright, so for things, we need more aluminum. I'm going to pop up rid of my notepad and make myself some notes. Aluminum. We are good on cobalt for right now. We're good on sulfur for right now. We have no titanium at all, so we need titanium. And I think otherwise we look pretty good. I made some lithium paste by breaking down some lithium fuel cells, some power cells, because there's literally no lithium on this continent. Where's my map? There's no lithium anywhere on this continent at all. Like, even if I zoom out. Can I zoom out from here? No. That's the wrong button. Alright, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. So if we zoom out, there's no lithium anywhere on this place, because all the lithium, there's some there. It's the purple diamond, the light purple diamond, the fuchsia one. There's some there, but I know for a fact there's a GC outpost there guarding it. There's some there, again, GC outpost guarding it. And there's one that's like right off screen here that also has GC guarding it. There's no lithium deposits anywhere else on this planet. So we can't go mine some. And I'm not really capable of flying to the other side of the planet to shoot up a mine and then come back. So, yeah. That's how this goes. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll break down. I'll break down some power cells and then use those to try to make a robot. So I'm like, maybe AI-enabled pilots are working. They're not. They're still busted. There's a workaround posted, still didn't work right. They have issues spawning for me right now. So, all right, let's do this. Let's go get some gold. We're gonna load up a bunch of gold. Not all the gold. We'll leave like another 3,000 behind. How much? Actually, how much gold wire do I have? I've got 1,100 gold wire, and for superconductors, it uses gold wire. Okay, so we're probably good. Because how many superconductors do I have? I've got 316 and another 1,100 gold wire, so it's another like just shy of 200, 180 more superconductors. So we'll go ahead and take the rest of this gold, and we're going to sell it and make some money. And we're just going to take a photo. I think we are floating out of the air. We are. That's fine. We didn't break anything. I'm just going to put power assist mode on. We're going to go fast. We're going to run back over the AHE HQ. A couple months ago, I had a bear trying to walk over the mini fridge. Oh. Yeah, nope. Nope. I don't mess with bears. Like, I'll sit there and I won't take anything from a swan or a goose or a duck. I don't care. Like, I know theoretically, right, like a solid hit from one of their wings can give me a concussion. I don't care. I've got longer reach than them with my arms. And I've had to smack enough of them in my life. I don't care. Bears? No. I don't mess with bears. Because they either outweigh me, in which case you always lose in a weight class disparity fight, or they're more dense, and so it doesn't matter because they hit you like a wrecking ball, and I don't care. Like, it's bear. No, I'm not. No. Not messing with bears. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit because that's super loud. Turn the game sound sucks. So I'm like, oh, we're not running any engines. Silly me. So once this is done, I can go through and set up. I think I've got a parts list somewhere. Do I have a parts list? Yeah, I got a parts list. So I can just set up to pre-print off like enough materials for more than one, and then we should be able to print it in one go and not have to worry about it. Oh man, it takes 56 detector components? That's right, because of the AI blocks for range. Just yell at me as they run away? Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. They will, here's the funny thing about cars. Cars aren't that durable. I guess just sheet metal or plastic over a frame, right? And that doesn't stop a bear. Like, they'll get a claw hooked in, or they'll just sit on the car and they'll find an opening and they'll just pop it apart. So that's all it takes. Hey look, there's our reef. Dune rat's down there. And unfortunately, too, with bears, like in the food thing, it's a problem that's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better, right? Because the bears get encouraged the more they're able to succeed at it. So, like, at the end of the day, Alright, we're not going to dock up. We're just going to drop anchor here in the bay, and it's going to fly back and forth and ferry to pieces. And that'll be that. This seems like a better way to do it. Plus, if I can walk off this planet with a whole bunch of extra money that I didn't have when I got here, I consider that a success. 4,500. Cool. We'll go drop this in the boat. We'll just make a couple trips here. Grab, 10, 15,000 ingots. Yep. I bounced off my gun. Yeah, so I knew a dude who used to do, maybe he still does, I don't know. He used to do like the ice fishing excursions in Alaska. He was one of the guides and or like, because they're bodyguards for the people that go out, because if anything shows up that shouldn't. I guess it's technically not ice fishing, but it's the Alaska, late fall fishing stuff. I've already splatted once. It's not going to be nearly as painful if I splat again. But, one of their big jobs is, if grizzlies come up and they try and decide, hey, we want all the fish you've caught, their job is to either drive the grizzly off or buy time for the people in the fishing party to get away from the grizzly and the fish. I look over at chat and almost splat into the ground again. It's like texting while driving. Just don't do it. You're distracted. And yeah, I've heard some stories. Grizzlies are like orcas. You don't mess with them, because if they want to win, it's going to take a lot of effort from you to get them to give up trying. Grab another 4,500 here, so we're still up money wise. The gold mine is the single most profitable thing I think I've done this entire playthrough so far. Alright, we got this, and we're just going to come back out and whip this boat around and head home. And by the time we get back, a good chunk of the stuff that we have materials for should be manufactured, so we can keep working on that conveyor line. Oh, and it was at Yosemite. Oh, yeah, no. Now, Yosemite has so much stuff. It's like, why are people so dumb? Why are people so dumb? Like, can we just maybe, remove the warning signs and just let that kind of sort itself out, just in general? We're doing 55 meters a second. That's not too bad. We're decently loaded. We got 48 tons on board. meters a second, that's like 1,819 miles an hour. Like, we're screaming. I should update that so it actually shows stuff. Because I haven't done that for this one yet. what's funny, right, is this boat could go faster. Actually, this boat, if I can pitch it just right, so I can porpoise a little bit, it can get airborne and get to space. Like, at least until like the atmosphere runs out, because your atmospheric engines, right? But it can, if I porpoise it a little bit, so I can break free of the water, it can go. it's got the thrust to weight ratio to do it. Which, like, if we're doing 115 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour, I'm not really surprised at that. This is fun. This would, in real life, this would be so painfully uncomfortable. Because, like, every little ripple in the water, you would feel like a hammer blow. Like, the guys that do, like, the speedboat racing, like the super high speed stuff, man, I don't understand how they do that. Like, you get literally beat up. It's some wild stuff. Oh, hey, look at that. It's got level 1 survivor buffs. Stayed alive long enough in the stream. I should probably turn this off and cut the throttle back. Just whip it round here and just come to a stop. There we go. I think my goal is going to be, between this stream and next, is to finish preparing Hat Mountain so that we can just do a moving day and just migrate everything. Alright. Do this, and we'll just kind of sidle up here and just drift in. Drift in. There we go. Now we're locked. We'll hop up here. Okay, we'll use our jetpack. We'll just dump stuff into the funnel. One more unload, and then I'll just turn the boat off and not worry about it. Worst case scenario, we get attacked, and I need to run out here and power the boat back on so that the guns do their job. Alright, with that, let's see if we can finish welding some stuff up here. I guess I could go take apart the giant piston stack that I used to drill the hole in the roof, but that's work and effort. So I haven't configured that yet, so there's no easy way to get the parts back down. So that piston stack with the drills on it may just stay there until I get things more stable and conveyored. Because every time I was like, oh, I'll just take some parts, and then I'm like, oh crap, I forgot, I gotta take apart the drills and then rebuild the drills. So I'm just sitting there just dropping parts. Like I threw down a light armor block shelf into the wall of the tunnel and just dropped parts out of my inventory so I could just grab them later. There's that. Let's keep going here. Grab pieces. Unknown signal. I should probably go raid that for parts because it's easy advanced computers. Oh, the tool usage being slower without my buffs. It hurts. Oh. Okay. I did split that right. I hope I didn't attach this to the wrong spot. I'm just gonna use. Oh, I can't. This is too heavy. I can't double check that. We can double check this one. No, I can't. I can check that though. Okay. That's fine. That works. I also got stuff in my inventory, so I forgot to weld something that I had added to my list. Let's see. We'll just grab this. Missing some tubes. Missing some other pieces. Need to make sure all the connectors are all like actually properly welded. Oh, look at that. Coal reserves, low refuel required. You see that message down there? Oh, I guess you can't really because my face is in the way. That's the oil rig letting us know that we need to get refueling. So we're going to take a quick detour and do that. It's not out, but it's getting low. Alright. Let's see if I can not beach the boat. There we go. Oh man, no, I took that out. Crap. Oh wait, no. This is where I can do it. I was like, I had a spot over here to make it easy to load this boat up with coal, because believe it or not, that thing actually burns through more coal than that makeshift base does because it's got the laser running. I should probably set it up so it's not burning the laser 100% of the time if it's full, but I haven't done that yet because I've been kind of lazy about it. Oh no! Stop. Okay, I didn't put a hole in the boat. That's good. Right? No, nothing's blowing up. Okay. Grab a whole bunch of stone, and we'll just throw it in here. And we'll just do this a couple times. And we'll go drop it off. 2, 3, we'll do like 5 loads. That'll be enough to get us by. I did go check on the coal base just to make sure it's doing fine. It's doing fine. It's a pretty simple base, and it provides its own power because it's mining its own coal. So like, can't really do anything wrong with that. I know I can outrun any naval ship the GC has. My concern is being able to outrun their aerial drones. Because I don't think I can on water. So like, if something happens and I get in a fight in this boat, I'm pretty sure it just capsizes. No mushroom cloud yet, no. Boat around, kill some of that excessive thrust with a little bit of back pressure. Go around to the backside. The tide is high in the bay because the flotation pillars are fully submerged right now. That's a fish. I was like, is there something floating in the water? No, just a fish. Just a fish. There's fish flying in the sky. So I have a concern. I have a concern that if I turn this on to work, it's going to start filling up with ice. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, well, that's a problem for later me to deal with. That's all there, that's all out. We'll turn this back off. I'm stuck? There we go. Let's just sit here for a second. How much ice we got? We do have some there. Connector... this one. That's the one we want to dump stuff out of. So if we go throw out... yeah. Okay, I can't do anything from there. I can do it from that. Can't go back that way. Can't go back that way. I gotta go. Oh my god, I gotta do this painful way. Okay, fine. Fine. It's fine. I'll come up here. I'll grab the extra ice. If I release the anchor lines, it wouldn't be that big a deal, but... let's see. And I should be able to just take this down here. No, I can't because it's probably full. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine. We'll just throw it out of my inventory. Because the water mod makes it so that if ice touches water, it just deletes. Problem solved. And I'll just take the ice from here, and from there, and all these little mini icelets. These are supposed to have ice. This is where there's not supposed to be. So now I fix that issue. We'll just throw it overboard. Plop! Okay, but this is now refilled. It's refueled. This is off. Cool. We will detach. And we will buzz our way back home until next time. It sends out a message saying, hey, bring me more coal. So it is set to trigger when the coal storage falls below, I think it's 10% from the overflow coal storage container. So the actual coal burner itself, because of the way as he does inventory, it holds about 2,500 coal in at a time automatically, and it'll just pull more in from the overflow cargo. And there's a large grid small cargo container that just fills up with stuff. And it's got sorters to push the coal to it. So yeah, like when it goes off, I've got a little bit of warning. Like if I'm out of a gold mine or something like that and it goes off, it shouldn't be an issue. But it also gives me a little bit of overhead in case there's like a fight going on. I have to drop what I'm doing right then and take care of it, which is kind of nice. Just let water do its work and slow us down. Turn our boat lights on because the sun is more or less set. Get our dampers going, slow us down some as we pull in. We'll just tie back up the exact same spot and then maybe get this thing printed. Maybe. Cool. Okay. Drop this in here. Are we still short? We're still short on something. What was it? That's functional, even without the tubes, and that's all I really care about at the end of the day. This is not, this is not, this is not. So let's get these parts done. I am out of hydrogen. I saw that just in time. If I hadn't seen that, I'd have gotten to about here, and then my jetpack would have run out. I just would have smashed into the bottom of my ramp and died again. Would have been a big splat moment. Right, these are all done. And there's this. So, theoretically, if we just pop this up to full, pop this down to full, and then pop this. Let's do this a little bit differently. Let's turn a share inertia tensor on here and here, see if we can get these to straighten out a little bit. No, where's catching? That's fine. It's literally this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, we attach to the head. And then we do this. And so that way, when I cut this out, it shouldn't break anything. Yes. Cool, there's that. I just need to do something different now for this piece. And we're just gonna do this. And now I shouldn't have to care. It won't be an issue up there. It will be an issue up there. Damn it. Okay. We'll just do the same thing here. Clip, clip, and then this shouldn't break anything. And we'll just repeat the same process here. Hopefully I'm not so distracted that I miss that it's going to smash into the ground and blow up everything. And we'll do the same thing over here now. Take this back apart. Cool, so all these are fully extended. So then if I come up here and retract this, I got a little bit of space to go still. So let's just say like minimum distance is going to be 3 meters. Where does that leave us? There, which is pretty much where it has to be. Okay. And we're below the bottom weld point, so that shouldn't be an issue. Cool. And we can just reverse this back up. Grab the pieces. If I had been smart and thinking about it, I'd have made one of these a cargo access point. But alas, I forgot to do this. It's not welded. There we go. Alas, I did not. Maybe I should. I've got time to. Let's like replace this one here in the middle. Yeah, we'll place this one here in the middle with a cargo access point. Cargo terminal. Yeah. And those have conveyor ports on all 4 sides, so we should be good there. 4 metal grids, 10 cut. Yeah, we'll get around to it. It'll make the rest of these faster when it's done. What is in my inventory? That's a bunch of steel. Why is there so much steel in my inventory? What did I have in my build planner I shouldn't have? That's the question. Okay, so now we can fill up parts from there. I'm going to ignore my hydrogen levels. I'm going to assume they're good. Oh, my inventory's full. I'm like, why can't I pull more pieces? It's fine. It's been one of those weeks, you know? It's just been one of those weeks. On the bright side, these clam buoys don't require any superconductors. So that's nice. That was almost too fast. I almost hit myself. It hurt there. I was 1 meter per second slow, I think. Oh. Not good enough. It's functional. That's really all that matters right now. I need to stop flying through the projection, because I'm going to do it now, and then I'm going to get used to the projection not being dangerous. And there's going to be a piece in there that gets welded, and I'm going to smash into it and blow myself up. I'm assuming we're waiting on interior plates. And small steel tubes, it looks like. Yeah. So let's see what we're currently set to on this. We'll just push this up. Yeah, we got plenty there. That's fine. Yeah, we're just... Our demand is outpacing our production need. Our production ability. We're also using a lot of stuff. So we'll do that. And that'll prioritize that. And then down here on the stamp, we're just going to get rid of that. And we'll just prioritize all these interior plates, because we're going to need them. We're going to need them. While we're here and we're waiting on parts, let's go through and prep for what we're going to need for these clams. And I'm just going to set this up for like printing double, and then we should be fine. Interior plates. Let's bump this up to 400. Let's see. We don't need armor plates for anything here. The assembler, we need 150 motors. Radio comms, we need. I'm just gonna set that to 20. On the fabricator side, I only need 13 electromagnets, so that's fine. Heating elements is fine. Construction components, we're going to push this up to 1,000. So you technically need for a double run about 700, but may as well just roll it up anyway, because we're not going to use them. Let's see what else we're looking at. Extruder. Alright, displays. We are at the number of displays we need. We are not at enough of these. So let's go ahead and crank this up. Oh man, we need more plastic. I don't like that. And I don't know. Let's go take a look at what we actually need for some of this stuff. So detector components, which are sensor clusters. Some bulletproof glass, which I should have on autocraft, and displays need plastic, and advanced computers need plastic. Okay, so synthetics factory. What are we queuing to plastic for off the synthetics? That should be good enough. How much polymer do I have? 3,000, that's not great, but I'll take it. I need to get onto here to the wire drawer. Plenty of copper wire. Alright, I think that's everything needed to print double these. So once everything catches up, it shouldn't be an issue. Because we can start one, we'll have enough materials to definitely print that, and we can start it, we could pull it out, we can start a second one. Or, you know, it could explode spectacularly, and then I could sit here and cry. Yeah, whichever. And these lines should disappear once this is all welded up and all the pieces are in place. And then inside Hat Mountain, this will probably be a fixed frame, and I'll just drag everything through like a more traditional welder wall. And then won't have to worry about it. I'm gonna go, whoop. Almost clipped my ankles and broke them. Use this refill station. Top our power back off. Still not enough small steel tubes, but that's okay. We'll get them eventually. Some of these are backwards. I just don't notice that. In my experience, it does matter. didn't drop any tubes. Okay, I thought I had that one fully welded, but I guess not. Guess I did not. There we go. There's all the small steel tubes. Alright, so... Cool. This is all lit up. But we're not... Oh, because some of these are backwards again. It's fine. It's fine. Which means there's probably some more that are backwards too. Go ahead and weld this up while I'm here. No? Okay. Why? Is one of these upside down and backwards? No? Okay. Huh. Do I have to engage it? Maybe I have to engage it. Weld. Power input. $45 megawatts. That'll get split between... One of them is damaged. Which one is damaged? Oh, this one wasn't welded up all the way. It'll get split between each of the four of them. So each one, since I'm sending 45 megawatts to the entire array, each one of these corners will get 11.3 megawatts. So when it's actively welding, it's going to cause that turbine to rip into high speed. But we shouldn't be drawing... Yeah, we're only drawing a kilowatt right now. Or I guess we're drawing 1 megawatt. Yeah, 1 megawatt. Oh. It hurts. It's painful. Okay, disable the array. And we reverse this back down. And we should be prepped to weld now. And while that's doing that, I'm going to go heal up. So I don't forget, and then... I will say, I did almost die once. Between streams. I did almost die once. I went down to like 17 health from 150. Clipped my ankles. Alright, so this should be all set to go. And we can test this by... enabled on. And we'll just... Alright, so this looks like it's working. If we just crank this down to like no, do not want to die. We'll just crank this down to something really slow where it shouldn't matter. That didn't finish welding, but because we're probably missing parts. Yeah, we're missing parts. Okay, so that does work. It's working. We'll just go back down. And then once this is caught up on everything, we want to care. And once we able to print one off, it'll be nice and fast. Let's fix this. I'm out of ice. Let's go put some ice back in this thing. Oh, I fell. Ice. I know I've got some hanging around here somewhere outside the collector. There we go. Do-do-do. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's go take apart this unknown signal. while we wait for parts to finish being produced. Is this one floating? This one's floating. Oh, look at that. Okay. Heh, 21 detector components? Don't mind if I do. I want the lithium power cells. Otherwise, I couldn't care less. Cool. Now we go back home with our free detector components. That was a great find. 22 detector components? Hell yeah. That's like half of a clan. Just let off the gas to slow down when it's relevant. There we go. Okay, so let's take a quick look through our assembler stuff. We're waiting on large tubes, I guarantee, for this. Large tubes. I know we have large tubes, the electromagnets, which is probably waiting on copper wire. Yep. That's fine. We no longer need 12 copper wire per for that, and we're probably screaming about copper wire here. Yeah. That's fine. It'll all get caught up eventually. We're just going to drop out. There we go. Let that reset. Restack some of these. In fact, let's just cut those out entirely and see what it does. Yeah, okay, it does add that back because we do need that many. That's fine. Let's see. We're good on munitions at the moment. Plate stamp is cranking away at steel plates. We're going to put the interiors up front. We're not having to make any plastic at the moment because we got it. We're screaming about copper wire. Everything is copper wire. Okay. Well, we have the welder wall. It's not a great welder wall, but it's a welder wall. So we're gonna mark this with an X. I don't want to work on the Raven right now. Well, I guess I could. It's mostly steel plate at this point. And I don't have the electronics installed on the barge to automate that yet. We could also expand the docks, though. Let's go work on that some. So let's see. We need... we need girders. And we're going to need asphalt. And we're going to need, let's take the rest of the asphalt over here. And we'll go ahead and take the rest of the girders if there are any. Are there any more? There are. Look at that. We don't need any girders for clams now. And then we're just going to drive over here. And we're going to get a bunch of concrete. Oh, that's lower down than it was before. Don't smash things up. I have this set up so that I could just pull the crab up under it and just load the crab up. And then I did that once, and it was such a disastrous pain to deal with. I haven't done it again. Like, I've got a push button. I push the button, it ejects out. Yeah, just nope, not doing that. Not doing that. So just going to grab some concrete, take care of that. We will drop that third axle back down. Turn it on, because we are 96 tons gross weight. Turn on the high beams. We'll drive down here. I still need to work out how I'm going to reliably refill ammunition down here for the towers without, like, just overloading everything in the process. Let's get the crab, because it's got lights. I can see my legs. There we go. That's better. Turn on our lights. Oh, beautiful lights. Beautiful lights. And we'll just do this. Come back down here. And we'll just park this too. It'll be fine. Maybe I'll park. Stop. Go. Cool. Alright. We got lights, camera, action. I want to do somewhere in the middle, I think. So that'd be there-ish. You know what? Let's count. So technically it's not an even split, but it would be this one here. So that's our midpoint. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. We'll just copy this color, and we'll just grab this onto our block picker, and we'll just pull some parts out, and we'll start laying them down. Actually, no, because I want to do this in stone, don't I? Yeah, I want to do it with this. No, you know what? We're gonna do it in concrete. Out of girders. Grab some more girders. I want this wide enough that I can drive down it if I have to with the truck. It won't fit the crab, but not much will, because the crab is like 37 meters wide or some dumb thing like that. $32? No. $19. I can do math. I'm gonna make a goofy face when I say it, but I can do math. Alright, how that goes out there. That's almost the length of this barge, isn't it? How many blocks is the barge? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's call it 32. Let's call it 34 for including the front drop hinge. We want to go out 34. then an extra one for safety. So this is the total length of this concrete pier, this industrial pier. And we'll come back here and we'll cut this off. And that's plenty deep. I have concerns as we get up here, but I can dredge this with drills. So that's not too bad. And we'll just place a whole bunch of these down here. Ooh, actually, if I did it, no, I could just use asphalt for the whole thing. But the asphalt's only at 3 width, so I'd either have to off-center it, or I'd have to go back to an odd count, which means it wouldn't be centered amongst the defensive placements. I've already got conveyors running under the front lip there, so that shouldn't be too big a deal. I'm out of girders. It's because I've got concrete in my inventory as well. Actually, hang on. What's the crab got in it? Is the crab loaded up with anything? No, it's not. It's empty. Okay. I might take the crab up the hill and just grab a whole bunch of concrete. Use the crab to weld all this down. But there's that. I'm going to take this pillar straight down. Cat, could you be any louder? Like, seriously. How far back is this connector on the barge? It's about the midpoint. Okay. So if I take a connector to the mid-ish points here, we'll just say... I know it actually matters though because of the front for offloading. It's fine. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's just call it 20. Because I know that if we do 20, it'll work. Hey, look at that! My buffs went up again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we're going to assume that, for whatever reason, that's going to be the height for the boat. It is about time to splat again. It would be painful in matter. Now, I could do a floating dock, which would probably be the smart thing to do, but I'm not going to. And I'm probably going to scream about it later. But we'll go with this, and then we will... There's this. I don't have any steel plate on me, do I? And there's none in here. Not having infrastructure set up sucks. It's fine. It's fine. We'll grab the parts for 2 of these. Right, all the concrete. I was like, how did my inventory fill up with one connector? It's full of concrete, dummy. You big dummy. So we'll just come slot this in here. We'll turn it around the right direction first. And we'll have the secondary connector. Yeah, we'll have the second one facing up, just because. I'll just repeat this over here. Except we'll spin it around the other way. Double check. There we go. So that'll be where that goes. And that'll be the docking points. I mean, it'll be close enough. Theoretically, like, we may have to wait for the tides to dock properly. We'll see how that goes. I guess I don't need this being this color anymore again. Oh, this is painful. Not having my speed buffs for tool usage. It's fine. Eventually, I will get my buffs back. Things will be nice again. Alright. I've got a bunch of girders in here that I don't need, so we're going to put these girders away. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or I'll just like, you know, take the drills and just like slap them directly on and just go from there. Because that's how I did a lot of stuff inside Hat Mountain itself. I just slapped the drill onto the walkway and just turned it on because the drills won't damage their own grid. So there's some options there. So we'll get these parts. I should probably grab parts for a bunch of conveyor pieces too while I'm here. No, because if I do this, it's going to slow down doing the clams. We'll do just enough. Crap. It's fine. I messed it up, but it's fine. We can fix it. And then I'll just crab walk it in between streams. Just fill the crab with girders and concrete. Make it a nice, easy job just to drive out and fall off the end. The new crab, the battle crab, the welders are on the claws instead. And it's got guns in its face. Plus on its back. So we're still making computers and electromagnets and copper wire, apparently, because that's the stuff we didn't pick up out of this. Yep, because they're still making electromagnets. We're going to need, like, a dozen wire drawers when we're actually inside Hat Mountain. Because there's not a way to accelerate inside Industrial Overhaul for manufacturing components. You just have to parallel it processing out. So we will need a lot, because like we already need a lot more space just to make things here, as it is, right? Because like parts production, actually that's fuel. Parts production, parts production, parts production, parts production, parts production, parts production, parts production. Parts production, power. Refining. Right, so like you need a lot more space than Industrial Overhaul. But once we're actually like in Hat Mountain and I can start like putting stuff together, it won't be that big a deal. It'll be nice. What are we making that's burning all this stuff still? Is there something we're making on the microelectronics factory still? We're still making more detectors? Really? More detector components? I guess we are. Yeah, it's only 100. Okay. We're getting there. We ain't there yet, but we're getting there. Still making more motors. To be fair, I did just take some. Make more tubes, because again, I took some of those. These are waiting on stuff for. We're still chewing away at the steel plate, because that'll take some time. Alright, we're going to make another wire drawer while we're sitting here waiting. Because I'm tired of this. This is painful, this hurts. We'll do that, and we'll stick it... I can't stick it there. Can I stick it here? I can remember how this stuff works. I swear. Of course it's electromagnetic computers. Of course it is. Of course. Oh. We're so close. We're so close. I'm just gonna sit here and spam middle mouse click until I see my inventory move. There we go. Move a little bit. Alright, we're just waiting on electromagnetic computers now. We're gonna toggle that into disassemble mode so it stops making stuff. Yeah, we got the electromagnets, so we can toggle fabricator into disassemble mode so it stops making stuff too. So we should just be making computers now. Okay, we were making them. Are we getting them? We're getting them. Yes. Okay. We're almost there. And then we can make a lot more. We can make copper wire at twice the speed. We're so close. Come on. Come on. So close. Anyway, while we wait for that to happen, let's spin up some. Yeah, we're burning the full... Oh, I left this running, didn't I? I did leave it running. Steam turbine just churning away for its life. How much coal do I have left? Ah, we're fine. We're fine. As far as things go, I do have electronics rigged up on the Crow, the plane there. The issue is I don't know how many of them are really useful. Because what I originally expected for this was to be able to survive dogfights on a regular basis, and it would be up armored a little bit as a result, and I don't know that's going to matter, because if I take a shot in the right spot, it's going to turn into a giant fireball as the gas tank explodes. So I could up armor around that, but even that, I don't know that matters all that much. Right, like a small armor panel's 100 integrity. And the heavy one is, the heavy one's 400 for half again the mass, so that could be worth like selectively up armoring. And this is just armor plates, so we can do this and not impact our productions of anything. Alright, we're waiting on computer parts still. It's enough. Okay, sweet. So we take this off our build planner, and we're going to come over here. Go this wire jar. Go number 2, cooperative. So we should see. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we're making copper wire twice as fast now. What was I doing? I was doing armor plates. Armor plates. Getting distracted. 1900 things going on. So we could selectively armor parts of this, so if it takes hits, it doesn't matter. That's an air brake, which has 141 integrity, but I can't really do much of anything about that. I could move it up higher, I guess, but like I feel like if I've already taken enough hits to blast through that, the tanks are going to go anyway. You know? Like, I really feel like that's probably not that big a concern at this point. So let's do this bottom line here. We can do some goofy fun stuff with some shaping. do? We'll do this. Yes, it uses a steel plate, but honestly, we're not waiting on steel right now. So, like, I mean, we are, but like not in a way that matters. And we'll just we'll place some of these blocks down. This is my favorite shape, by the way, in Space Engineers. This half slope inverted heavy, or this half slope inverted. I don't know why. I like the fact that it's a block with a very nice chamfer to it. I'm weird, I guess. And then I think we go back to light armor for the rear part, where the rest of the tail is. Because I don't see a reason to up armor the tail. Like, if I'm taking enough hits there that it matters, I'm going down anyway. And I think I'd rather save the mass. We'll do a little bit of shaping on the front. I don't want to get too decoratively greebly because it will just result in excess mass for no reason. And yes, unfortunately, I do have to put the tail wheels here because they don't mount anywhere else because it's a too wide. It's an even symmetry grid. I was like, oh, this would be so easy because, you know, the cockpit is an even number of pieces and not have to fight with things. No. Alright, see, that's a gas tank there, right? Yeah, it's a gas tank. So let's put heavy armor there and there. And that's pretty much all the gas tanks enclosed now, which is the important parts. Because I can't do anything about them, like, shooting me out of the sky directly. Because I don't have like a windshield, right? It's just kind of open, which is fine. I like that. I just don't know how I want to do the rest of that there. I kind of feel like just dragging this back and then blending it in directly is probably the smoothest way to do it right now. Let's go refill our power pack. Power pack. We'll just grab some more steel plates when we're at it. I mean, I guess I could use like plates, right? But the problem is it's still on small grid. The difference between a plate and a full block is nothing. The panels are less resistive to explosive rockets, but the blocks deform and can break things behind them as a result. Because integrity is based on the parts, and pretty much all small grid armor blocks, light armor blocks specifically, they're all one steel plate. Like, they've all got the same stats. So, like, go for aesthetics at that point. Oh, I forgot to do the panels here. Everything's conveyor the way it's supposed to. I could do... I don't think I'm going to try and hide the conveyors for the guns, because there's not really a way to, because these are actually conveyored, by the way. These wing pylons. If we turn on ports mode, you can see there you got ports. So these guns are... the top and bottom gun are conveyed to the middle one, and the middle one is conveyed back into the body. And so that's how they all operate. Now, I kind of like that. If we weren't playing an Industrial Overhaul, so we had like hydrogen as an actual functional fuel. There are wings that have tanks built into them. We could have used here instead, but I want to do that. Actually, do I want to do? Because if I stay here, right, I can enter the cockpit from here. So I could do something like. Steel. Need steel. That's fine. Got a bunch of steel plates. Because I like being able just to hop up on the wing and get in. I like that. Okay, so if I leave this open, then I need to be able to leave that, because this way I've got the path, and I could put something like this. Because I can still access it here. Can I still access it if I did something like this? Yeah, I kind of like that. It's a little cheeky. Get rid of this. Weld this one back in place. Spin this around. Wait, how did I do that over here? I've already forgotten. Oh, because I'm putting the wrong spot. That would be part of it. Yeah, okay. So I got the ability to hop up on that, and then we just do a little bit of shapery here. Actually, because this is the front, that should be heavy armor. That way, if I'm like making a strafing pass at an enemy gunship, it's not that big a deal, because what will be in the front will be heavy armor. So we'll do like that, and then this, because again, these all have the same integrity because they've all got the same parts. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do... And I guess I could do something like this and then form that in instead. Because I don't have to lose a whole bunch of visibility, I guess. That's light armor, that's wrong. That's light armor. That's light armor. That's light armor. How much of this do I stick it in light armor? All of it. Because nope, that's heavy. Okay. So I just messed up from that point onwards. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And that at least protects like the core of the the plane. So if I eat some Gatling rounds and they're aiming for center of mass, this will absorb most of that impact. We are a little bit more heavy here, but also we were a little tail heavy before, so this should make up for that a little bit. And then this gets replaced with, this will probably be heavy armor again. If I do that one, then we lose my little cheeky clip 3 spot. Unless we did, maybe one of these shapes would work. No, because that's a goofy ass shape. I don't think any of the transitions matches that. No, none of those match. So we'd be looking back at, again here. Oh no, I guess I can. Yeah, I can still see it there. Okay. I guess that does work. Go back to the heavy armor. And we do this. We do that. Yeah, I just can't be right up against the edge, but I can still get in. It's very easy if I get close to the gun. So if I jump up and grab a hold of the gun, I can then get into the cockpit easily. These are shaped wrong because this is shaped wrong. Which these do have to become transition pieces because of going from one of these 2x1s down to a 1x1. Jetpack fuel is low. That worked out pretty well. Yeah, ultimately the fact that it's an even width thing is also what made me go into the rear pusher style, which yes does clip through the wings, but I don't care. Rather than like one of the heavy duty big honkin' engines on the front, just because I didn't want to have to deal with trying to offset. Like there really should be a way to do a 2x1 and center it, and I get like the engine's cranky about that, and I could do it and then disguise it. Like I could stick it on a suspension, you know, throw it on a suspension, do that, center it that way, but then that's still goofy and incredibly dumb, and I hate the idea, so wouldn't be doing it. Alright, then at what point do we start spreading? I guess here. Because those are there. And that does work, but it is a little on the goofy side. But it does work. And that goes on my steel plates. Grab the steel plates. And then this becomes this one. Yeah, we just do regular body plates from there. Now this thing flew very nicely before I put all this stuff on it. If it flies like complete crap afterwards, because somehow this is just enough mass to tip it from the flies great to flies crap category, I'm just going to rip it all back off. And we're going to have like the most ridiculous looking garbage dogfighting biplane in the world. Which, triplane, you know, technically is accurate to how bi and triplanes really were during World War One. And just after the parts of the world that were stuck having to use war surplus to fund their militaries. But let's see, I need more steel plates. And then I think from here, I do have a remote on this in case I need it, but I don't have a camera. So I could like taxi it around if I had some other way to see. I don't think I like how wide this is in the back. But I think to change that I'd have to completely reshape everything I just did. Which I guess is doable. Right? Like I could... because if we went from here, I could go back down to this. And we could just start pulling early. Nah, because I still get me goofy. Alright, so we'll give it a little bit of a weird shape still. We'll just flatten the back off some. That. There's that, and then I just went into these blocks, right? Yeah. That's not right. That's right. Then we go here, and we go with that. Super flat decked. I could put... Oh no, do I want to? I could. I could put a rear turret on this. That seems like way too much gun for how much plane this is supposed to be. Maybe if I get shot out of the sky a couple times, then we'll rework this thing. But actually, I kind of like the flat back, especially coming off the capacitor batteries. I do like that. That is kind of neat. I was trying to call this the Raven. We're going to rename that. It's too small for that. It does barrel roll nicer than a Crow does. But we'll start with that. All right, let's see how we're doing over here. How are we doing on our production queue? So plate stamp is down to 1,600 plates. That's fine. Put this back on assembly mode. Mouse on assembly mode is done. Fabricator will put back on assembly mode. Microelectronics factory is done. The wire drawer is almost done, but it's going to have to start chewing out again shortly as other stuff is made. We're just about there. How many electromagnets do we need for this? We need 13 for one of these? Oh yeah, no, we're fine for that. And what was the other thing that we were waiting on? Crap, I already forgot. Brain's failing me. Yeah, we have plenty of these, and we're gonna have plenty of these. We'll just move it up and be done with it. We'll find the extruder side and the assembler side. We don't need that many motors if that's all we're making. So we'll consider this done. So let's do welder wall. We'll turn the welder wall back on. We're back in on mode. Okay. And we'll do some things here. So we're going to set this speed. We'll just make -0.2. That's way too fast. -0.02. Alright, so that's basically 6 centimeters a second between all 3 pistons. And we're not going to step into the weldy beam so I don't get blasted again. But let's see how this does. Oh, I can't see. I was going to ride it up and be cool. Instead, we're just going to walk beneath it. Let's see how this goes. We'll weld in pieces. Okay. Ah, I missed something. Son of a bitch. Missed the computers? Wait, are we short on computers for everything? Hang on a second. I'm gonna slam the reverse button. We are short on computers. Son of a bitch. Okay. That's fine. Did I... Oh, I probably didn't set that up right. 50 computers. That is not enough. No, no, no. We need 496 computers per clan. I forgot to add the computers. So I did forget a thing. That's on me. Oops. Now we're going to copper wire again. That's fine. We'll just... We got that. We're just going to slam more into both. And then we'll be getting there. So, Crow. Let's refill my hydrogen. And we will take this for a test drive and test flight. And see how this handles things now that it's... Put my spare parts away. Oh, you're over here with this one. Yes, technically I can stick them all in the same spot. Don't care. I don't have full buffs yet, but that's fine. Okay. We hop in. We're good. We're going to take a hard save. We were powered on. I need to fix these screens, because these screens aren't going to cut it. So, the large display, we want the artificial horizon. On the left screen, I don't care about oxygen and hydrogen. So we'll put... Guess we could put our velocity there? Is there a relative velocity? There's not a relative velocity, is there? No. And then on the right one, we'll do targeting info, maybe? Because that'll be useful when we actually go to start shooting things. Yeah. Okay. Alright, everything's closed. Alright, those work. That is correct. That's correct enough. Why aren't I turning? Did I break something with the tires back here? Let's see, open this menu. Steering. I did break something. Oops. I turned off steering on the tires, the rear tires that are supposed to have steering. There we go. Something to remember to update the. Okay. If I'm downhill from it, I can't hop with it. Something to fix in the thing. Blueprint. We'll turn this on. Nope, blew up the tires. Now it's on me. That's on me. That's fine. We can fix this. This is an easy fix. You get the parts for one piston. The wheel back on. Do the same process over here. Get these parts. And then we just don't go towards the water when we're trying to take off. Problem solved. Actually, I wonder is... Yeah, okay, no. We're fine on suspension strength. I should probably put a couple pieces there to feather that in, but that's fine. Alright, let's try this again. My camera view, that can't possibly be right. There we go. I don't know what's messing with the camera, but something's messing with the camera. We are slower on ground than we were before, but we are up now. Before, I could sit at 20% power and not speed. It is nice not having to have the HUD on me to see what's going on. Maybe I'll set something else so I can see my guns too. I need to set something up so I can see what percentage my engines are at for power, and how much ammo I've got in my guns still. It does look like our weight didn't meaningfully change enough. Like the flight performance characteristics are still what they were before. We're at 20% engine power, and we're still accelerating, and we're not completely flat. Oh, that terrified the hell out of me. I thought I was about to crash. Now, if we drop back to 10% power, we're at a 5-degree angle, and we're still slowly gaining. So I think we're probably good. Just do some quick barrel rolls here. Yeah, that worked nicely. Okay. Throttle up and just hammer it. Oh, other thing I added in I forgot I did that. I put the nav screen there, so I actually have a nav screen while we're flying. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. We'll just throttle back to like 30% power. We'll eventually get 300 meters a second. And it won't matter. The nav screen is wrong for angle alignment, but we should be in line with the road here, and we're not. So let's see if I can fix that while we're here. We'll do a chevron override by... Is it really negative 30? That's such a weird friggin' offset. So if we aim at the Atlas, no, still a little bit further to go still. So I guess it probably is negative 45 then. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. But we're at the Atlas. That took, what, 2 minutes? It's way better than 15. It's a shame that this plane can't do cargo duty, but we may need to do an actual cargo plane. I don't know what that is. If I can not lose too much altitude in the process, and see if we can. That's moving. It's not up in the air. It's not anything we can target. What is that? Huh. I don't know what that is. We'll just crank a little bit more power up because we're going to bank into a turn here, and I don't want to slam into the water or fall out of the sky because I stall. So unlike in real life, we can overturn this game. I mean, yes, technically you can do that in real life too, but you know what I mean. Should have. I need to set this up on the nav screen. I haven't yet. Yep, there we go. There's the little one. Just gonna buzz the gold line. Probably a little bit closer to the train than I should have gotten. And I'm not running heavy engines. Imagine if I put heavy engines on this thing. The heavy duty ones. Just let's see how we climb. We are so high up. We are above where the engines work. We are out of the atmo. Oh. Okay. I do have some concerns because I do know there are some mountains that reach to the very top of the atmosphere, and I don't know if those are some of them. So we may need to dive and get back into lower atmo and see if we can get... there we go. Okay, let's head back up. Then I can see if I can land this thing without blowing it up again. Well, so last playthrough, we got level 3 buff fight. Last playthrough, the original playthrough, I happened to pick a spot where it was high enough elevated and ringed by high enough mountains that you couldn't come in with atmospheric engines from orbit and not hit a mountain. It was not possible to slow down enough unless you had like 30 times the engines you needed, because the atmosphere is so thin there. And it made it hilarious when like actual stuff fired off, because the GC kept trying to send in stuff and they just smash face first trying to course correct into the mountains. It was hilarious. I loved it. Here we go back to this. You know what? While we're here, let's go see if we can see, because there's supposed to be some silver, right? Yeah, there's supposed to be silver on the other side of this. Let's see. Show resources. I don't know if we're going to have the ability to get above these mountains. Oh, now I can hear the engine struggling. Oh, we can do it. We're not losing altitude. I mean, we're losing a little bit, but not that much. Okay. So it should be right down there. I don't see it though. Supposed to be silver down there. Is there actually silver down there? Oh, this is so cool. I need to turn. I need to do turn on the the plugin that allows you to do like the head tracking, the track IR, I think. Okay, so there's a roadway here, but I don't see any mine. So I think... I'm going to get back up high enough. I think we can set up the silver mine here. It'll be just fine. Oh yeah, we had 400 people there, so we're fine. We can come over here. Go over these mountains. That'll be more or less back towards home, can we? I know the air gets real thin up here, but I think if we're up this high, we should be able to scoot that way if we have to. But I want to see if we can get over here. Yeah, this is the mountains right behind the house. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Look. There's the oil rig. Oh, and there's the drill. Okay, this is super neat. Oh, this is too fun. Let's throttle back so we don't need throttle that high. These are doing heavy lifting. Alright, so I don't think I want to try coming in for a landing there yet. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to try for a softer water landing. So here's what it looks like if we just deploy the air brakes. They're out now, and we're slowing down. Not super fast, but we are slowing down. need to try to minimize bouncing. There we go. And those are closed now. There we go, we're out of the water. Okay. So we can make water landings. I know I can do water takeoffs. Like if I just gun it and just porpoise out, it will. I know for a fact. I need to figure out a way to land. Actually, how much fuel do we have left in our tanks? I need to figure out a way to land on the barge. Because the problem is the barge, we don't have like arrestor cables. Alright, we got plenty of gas left. We're fine. We have more fuel in that thing than it will ever run through in its lifespan. Because it's going to get blown up first. Why are we not making plates? What are we... Are we full of stuff? We're full of stuff. Okay. That's fine. We can fix this. Get everything out of everybody's inventories. So the one drawback to IO is that if you don't run an inventory management script, you very quickly end up in a scenario where you just don't have storage space for things. But that's fine. We'll fix that. Okay, so we're making more stuff. We're doing the things. We're making the stuff. How are we doing on assembler bits? We're fine there. We're still making computers, but we have fewer computers to make than we need to craft one. Cool. Let's try and print a clam for the third time. Alright, so I don't think I turned off the welders, so they're in action mode. Okay. Then we'll go with pistons. Couldn't remember the word. It's been one of those weeks. That hurt a little bit. I'm going to pretend like it didn't. And let's see if we actually properly print everything. If this works, then it's just a matter of sitting there and waiting for parts to be built. And I can rig up a monitor script for that. And then I can just start printing these off and anchoring them. But I want to make sure the printer actually works first. Oh, I didn't think about the fact that it was going to print. It was going to weld up the support blocks. I normally put like a merge block on the bottom of these, and I didn't this time. So maybe I'll have to make some adjustments and go from there. Show only buildable. There we go. Now this is more fun to watch. Because I can also more easily look to see for things that are not being printed properly. Because I think I tested this print in Creative. Like in a creative test world to make sure it does print from the bottom up properly, but I don't honestly recall. Got the ballast tanks. Oh, that was super cool. I was going to turn the game sounds back up because they're not running the engines now. I think we're a little bit too fast for the number of blocks there on that top row. Let's roll it back. I just need to slow it down because there's a maximum number of things it'll action blocks on. Yeah, it moved through the block space before it finished doing them all. Still didn't get all of them. Okay, so maybe let's see. Just one. Change this to like 0.1. We'll cut the speed that these are traveling in half, and then because the speed at 2 passes at the same speed got almost all of it. So that should mean that theoretically 1 pass at half speed should get the same amount, and then we could just send it back down afterwards. So I'll just set like an event controller when it sees one of these pistons, not the middle one because it's got the shorter travel time, but when one of the other 2 extremes hits its limit and maxes out, it'll just send it back down, and then I'll know once it gets back down to the bottom, it should be printed. Because then we'll have done a double pass. It'll be like a quadruple pass. So it'll be slower to start, but when it gets to the skirt part, it'll complete it then. Or maybe I won't have to. Maybe I'll just be able to leave it up high, and it'll be done. That worked out pretty well, actually. Broadcast controllers and beacons and timers and event controllers and everything else. We have a collector with ice in it. That engine didn't complete. That's the other thing. It was missing 2 copper wires. I wonder if it went too fast for that one still. Might have. We'll just grab those real quick and do that. Or maybe it just didn't have the copper wires because I was too hasty and forgot to double check that, yeah, we're still producing copper wires, so maybe we just didn't have the copper wires for it. If I'd had the parts, it looks like a lot of the stuff would have got. Yeah, we're missing copper wires. Okay, so that's not too bad. It's got power because of that, which has power. So why... Oh, because I'm stupid. Should block an inventory screen. That's not the collector on this one. It's this one. This is the one that doesn't have any because it's not in the water yet. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. That's correct. We're at the top level of this, so we should be there. That's to weigh the anchors. Let's take a look at what the projector says. See, 6 armor blocks, a beacon, a small conveyor, a hinge, an advanced rotor, and 4 autocannons still need to be welded more. And I bet we're missing copper wires in every one of these, aren't we? Nope, okay. Maybe we just didn't have enough copper wire. Yeah, we're still missing copper wires. Okay. So we got copper wires put in, but not before it passed beyond it, and we're still missing these. So let's reverse the pistons. I may have, with this, made this entirely too tight for it to auto weld. We'll see here. Actually, if I wanted to make this turret larger, it could have been a 10-barrel autocannon Gatling. And it would have been truly horrifying. Like, as it is, it's already pretty horrifying. Like, I did some tests, and it shot entirely too much crap out of the sky at, like, 1/3 the rate of fire it should be at. We're getting close. I think the issue is because it defaults to aiming down a little bit. Because it starts welding blocks before it's fully done. Oh, that's probably what it is. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a double pass. Because the anchor point to start building these out is right there in the back. And so it barely had enough time to slap these blocks down before it moved past it. So I will have to do an up and down pass. Let's waddle off the side real quick. There we go. And then as the top clears, we should see things weld. Yeah. Yeah, and as 100%, it's just the vertical axis. I wonder if I could change that by having the turret in the blueprint pre-aimed up some, and locking the elevator hinge for printing purposes, and then just when it's done, have a master switch that like deploys it into ready position, powers things on, unlocks the hinge so it drops into its proper height allocation. Because that all, I'm not seeing any like projected armor pieces. That all looks intact and correct. It made it as just the angle messed with things. So let's see how we're doing. One beacon, which is down here, and it's a block that is missing. We were missing some copper wires for it. So the printer does work. So I guess the question becomes, we got antennas and stuff online. I guess the question becomes, how do I want to? No, I think I'm gonna drop it down lower. Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop it down lower for printing. I mean, I could also just. I mean, we're at low tide right now. Right, like we are at super low tide because we were almost to the point this collector turns off, and I set that at low tide. But I do need this. Yeah, there we go. So that's up and running. It's got power now. The problem is this is intended to be ballast based. Wait, does that say armor blocks 0? Blocks remaining armor blocks and a beacon. So there's an armor block in here somewhere that's got all its parts, but it's not welded all the way. That's mildly annoying. Oh, that's the welder grill. I just chunked myself for some health there. It's probably. I wonder if it's one of these down here. Alright, we're just gonna get out of the way. It works. It does work. Let's take the boats. Take the boats, and we're gonna detach. Power off, detach. Just gonna smash into things and cause damage. I wonder if that's like other welders, or because I'm in a helmet would hurt me if I'm in the boat. That'd be kind of good to find out. Alright, this worked out. So I'm gonna cut this free after I move the pistons back up out of the way, haul it out, and then I'll repeat this a couple more times. Let's mark off some stuff on the to-do lists. Let's go turn off the super bright spotlights on the barge. I'm stuck. There we go. I have some more decorations to do inside here. I have some more greebling to do. I have some more stuff to stick in, like more relays and stuff. And I need to set up all the electronics and the programmable blocks so that that's easy to use off that secondary helm. And then this will be pretty much good to go. And then, like, even without that welded yet, this can use that. It just can't, like, dock and refuel. So there is that. And then let's go. We good here? We good here? Complete! Haha! Okay, so that's done. So we will. I'll have to see about fiddling with. Spell piston. I swear. I'll have to see about fiddling with the blueprint for this so that it lines up a little bit nicer for printing. But it does print, and that's the important part. So the welder wall is complete and works. We can get clams up and good to go. We will classify the Raven as effectively done, but I'm probably going to keep fiddling with it. That has to be done. This is partially done. I still want to do this. I still want to do mini grabs for defense. It's going to get done. That's not too bad, though. Like, that was actually some good work. Like, we have a fighting plane. I'm terrified of what's going to happen the first time it goes into combat, so I'm either going to fly into another grid and blow it up, or I'm just going to get majorly outclassed because I have to stay, flying forwards. And I'm just going to get just my face completely just torn off. I need to get stuff over here built. So let's update our list. We need to deploy clams. We need to build defense towers. Let's see. Need to print the new crab. Print new crab. Let's see. Build wharf defense towers. Deploy clams. Continue working on Hat Mountain interior. Yeah, that works. Cool. Now I have goals for next time. Some of this I'll probably try and work on in between streams just because, like, babysitting drills is going to be boring. But the rest of the stuff, I might print and anchor some. I might, you know, actually I could put clams. I could attach clams to the side of the barge. I would have to add that no friendly grid damage mod, because these things would just rip a hole right through my command deck. Nope, no more splats. We successfully landed. We've got a printed clam. We're in a good spot, actually. Like, I've got to tear all this down eventually, but it'll be relocated and it'll work better. But I could mag clamp clams to the side of the barge and just like 1, 2, 3. I could have like 6 clams and just, I don't need a gunboat. I've got boat guns. Maybe if I get the automated travel thing set up right, and then when things pop off, I just send the barge loaded with clams down the river, and then I can just come screaming in on the plane, and then I've got the plane and then like 6 clams. Yeah. Maybe I should put some guns on this thing, like some interior turrets for anti-rocket defense. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea rather than leaving it completely defenseless. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. I should probably do that. Anyway, plans for next time. You know what? I can put one on top of a little crane here. Go like blop. That'll be plans for next time, though. So back next week, right? Let me check the calendar real quick. Yeah, back next week. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. GMT -5. Hope to see you. If you're here tonight, I appreciate you. And if you're watching this after the fact, I especially appreciate you. Please give a thumbs up if you liked it. If you thought it was garbage, give it a thumbs down. Still engagement. Still lets me know people are watching. If you want to give feedback, I always appreciate that in the comments. And of course, there's a link to the Discord down below and stuff. So. I really like the way this plane came out. I'm gonna completely bomb my entire outro and just be like, I really like how this plane turned out. It's given me Don Carnage vibes from Tailspin. Have you ever watched that cartoon? Like, the wings aren't stubby enough, and it's not the right colors. It doesn't have a giant, like, turbo engine on the front. But I think this is kind of live it up. Maybe I'll do a little bit of shape work here. I think this is live it up to the premise. Finally, here we are, 11 streams in. Finally have a functioning airship or aircraft, and there's a hole. There's a hole drilled to the top of the mountain. Again, bombing my outro. Hole drilled to the top of the mountain so we can put in a Zeppelin parking bay up top and have an actual blimp. Because this goes all the way down. We're going to turn on lights so I don't die crashing into something yet again at this exact same spot. And then this will lead back through the giant hall of processing bullshit, because industry gotta indust. That is exactly how those words work. You can't tell me otherwise. And then this will be some parking bay stuff. Actually, I might, if I come back here to where that shaft is, I might do a big parking bay here for like the crabs and the airplanes, because then like we're fully in the middle of everything. We're super protected. Nothing's gonna blow anything up. And then I can just pull out of the garage and just floor it and fly out the front entrance. And that could be real cool. But we'll see. I gotta build stuff. Hope you all have a good night. Hope to see you back. Stay safe. Stay goose.